Everybody, this is the second lecture for topic 1. The first lecture is the one that I have shared last week. In the first lecture, most of the thing is you have seen the introduction to ethics, the definition of ethics, the importance of ethics. So in this second part of the topic, you will see several more things related to the concept of ethics. Okay, so this is the first one, ethical dilemma. What will you do? So this is like an example of ethical issues or problem that you will face in your workplace. See here, you are, let's say you are a strategic analyst at a successful hotel enterprise that has been generating substantial excess cash flow. Your CEO instructed you to analyze the competitive structure of closely related industries to find one the company could enter using its cash reserve to build up a substantial position. Your analysis suggests that the highest profit opportunities are to be found in the gambling industry. You realize that it might be possible to add casinos to several of your existing hotels, lowering entry costs into this industry. However, you personally have strong moral objections to gambling. So this is like an example of ethical issues that you will face in the workplace, in your workplace. This example is not directly refer to an accountant, but this is like more general example. For us, for accountants, the ethical dilemma or problems will be slightly different. Most of the time it is related to the accounting numbers, but this we can learn something from this. See here, sometimes the problem is something like the thing is maybe correct or good for the organization, but it is against our moral principle. So against one's moral principle. So how to deal with this situation? That's the thing. So let's see, there are several things that you can consider when you are facing this kind of dilemma. There are several ways you can do to deal with this kind of situation. So this is like the criteria for ethical decision making. The first one is when you are facing ethical dilemma or problem, you can use, or maybe you are using, utilitarian approach. This approach is something like this: moral behavior produces the greatest good for the greatest number. When you want to make the ethical decision, you are thinking or focusing about the greatest number. You are focusing on the majority. What is the effect of your decision on the majority of the people in your organization? Okay, that is that approach. Or some people, they use individualism approach. This is about the acts are moral when they promote the individual best long-term interest. So if a person use this individualism approach, he or she always think about the right of one individual. When you want to do something, you think about your right. But utilitarian approach think about or focus about the majorities of people right. Okay, let's see the third approach, moral rights approach. Moral decisions are those that maintain the right of those affected, including free consent, life, and safety. So this approach is focusing on moral aspect of the situation. But okay, the number 4 approach is called justice approach. Decisions must be based on standard of equity, fairness, and impartiality, especially important in human resource management. So you can see here, I think the justice approach is what? It is more acceptable from my view. So other three approaches are acceptable, but from my view, justice approach is I think the approach that I'm willing to take. So if for each of you, you have to think. What do you think? Which approach is the best from your view? If we look at the Western society, most of the time they are using or prefer to take the individualism approach. That's why when you see people in the West, they are always voice their right. They want to protect their privacy. That's what, as far as I know, the preference in the West. But to us in the East, most of the time, particularly I think in Malaysia, we are focusing on the right of the majority. We try to the approach that we have here is we are focusing on the majority of the people in our place. We will not do something that disturb the majority of people. We are willing. I don't know about you, but from my view, people here, we are willing to sacrifice our individual rights for the goodness of the majority of people or the goodness of the community. Okay, but justice approach, I think, is more acceptable to me because according to the justice approach, we should do something that is fair to people or to ourselves, not because any other influence, but try, from my view, the best approach to handle ethical dilemma is try to be fair to the people and the situation. Okay, so let's see. This is models, explanation, and examples. Don't worry about this. Okay, and then we are now try to this is is relevant for accounting student. Okay, ethics in accounting profession. Okay, see here. There are several factors here that you can see. Features, and then duties essential to a fiduciary relationship, rights permitted in most jurisdiction, values necessary to discharge duties and maintain rights. Okay, I think this is another thing. There is another thing. For accountant, this is, I think, relevant. Code of ethics for professional accountants. In the future, the thing that most accounting students want to do is to become a chartered accountant. You want to become CPA. You want to become a certified public accountant. So to become this CPA, you have to be a member of Malaysian Institute of Accountant. Maybe you want to become a ACCA member first, and then you apply for MIA membership. Or maybe you want to become MICPA member first and then apply for MIA membership. Or now you can do is, after you have a UPM degree, you can apply for or sit for MIA qualifying exam, and then you want to apply for MIA membership. So in that context, you have to follow the code of ethics. Code of ethics. Code of ethics according to your professional association. If you are a member of ACCA, you follow the ACCA code of ethics for members. If you are MICPA member, then you follow MICPA code of ethics for members. Most of the time, as far as I know, the code of ethics almost similar for these professional associations. The thing that you have to maintain are these 5 aspects of ethics. See here, the first one is objectivity, the second one is professional competence and due care, and then confidentiality, professional behavior, and integrity. I hope there are explanations for each of these ethical aspects. No? See here. Okay, so for you, you have to check the explanation for the 5 aspects of ethics that you have seen in the previous slide. The integrity, objectivity, confidentiality, professional behavior, and another one. So you have to know what it means by integrity, what it means by objectivity, confidentiality. Confidentiality is very important. you have to always aware that organization data and information are confidential. You cannot disclose the data to parties outside the organization, except when you are required by law. For example, you have to present. You have to present in court, and then you can disclose the data information. That is the one thing. So you have to know, for every 5 aspects of ethics, check the definitions and things related to these 5 aspects. Okay, so and then when you now you are learning about ethics, like I said in the first video that I shared with you, in this course you are also will learn about the governance. Governance is like this is the definition or explanation about governance. Okay, let's see. Management versus governance. So what is the difference between management and governance? So if you read about companies, big companies, you will see these terms. Sometimes you see the terms governance, the corporate governance, and sometimes you see the term management. So what is the difference between governance and management? Okay, see here. Management deals with daily operations. So if you see process or procedures related to daily operation, then these things are related to management. But governance is something higher. Governance is about the underlying ethics and planning of a corporation. Management, most of the time, is done by managers. Governance, on the other hand, are done by directors. I think that is easier for you to understand the difference. If you see the words governance, it refers to the works that have to be done by directors of a company. Imagine in a company they have a board of directors. So the directors are not involved in daily management, but the directors most of the time do things related to strategy and the plan for the future of the company. So if you see organization chart, directors are in a higher position compared to managers. Management do the done by managers to deal with day-to-day operation. Okay, so I hope you can follow that. Poor management can affect governance. I'm not sure about this word, but I'm sure about these 2 errors. Weak governance undermines the financial and operational performance of a corporation. Weak governance means if the board of directors are not good in governing the business, and also if they are not good in maintaining ethics for the company, then the situation will undermine the financial and operational performance of a corporation. Weak governance affects investors' faith in the company. So we can see here, the governance is more important compared to the management. Management, they follows things decided by the directors. Directors do the governance, managers do the management, managers follow the directors. So that's why governance is very important. If the directors they are the directors are ethical, maintain good ethics, then people below them, including managers, will become will maintain ethics, and vice versa. Okay, so now we in this course we are looking at the governance. Okay, corporate governance, see here, structure of decision making, business ethics, guides for the behavior, and these two are related to core values: transparency, fairness, accountability, and responsibility. Okay, this is like more explanation about ethics and ethical behavior. Why does ethical behavior matter? First, ethical business practices increase the ability to keep existing customers and gain new ones. You can imagine that if a business and people who run the business maintain high ethical standard, then customer, it is easier for the business to attract to keep existing customer and to attract new customers. Positive impact on employees. Employees will become more happy if they are working in a place that maintain high ethical standard. Attracts foreign and domestic investment. Easy to understand the idea. Improves the image of the company to the public. A company that maintain high ethical standard, we as the public see them as good business. See the business as a good business. If it is a company, then we see it as a good company. Imagine a company that does not maintain high ethical standards. The company that does not honor the warranty. A company that does not refund its customers. Does not want to refund customers if the customer want to return item or something. So we don't like them. We see them as a bad business, a bad company. So if you have a business, always aware that if your business maintain high ethics, high ethical standard, people outside the business will see you as a good business. It's a good organization. And then shows a commitment to playing a positive role in society and being a good corporate citizen. Okay, a business or a company that maintain high ethical standard is playing a positive role. People will say, oh, if you want to start a business or to run a business, follow that kind of business. That business that has high ethical standard, that maintain high ethical standard. So that's why it is important for a business to maintain high ethical standard. Corporate governance as antidote to corruption. Okay, effective corporate governance means that transparency values are present, investors receive timely and relevant information, decision making is not done behind closed doors, decision makers are held accountable for their actions, managers act in the interest of a company. So you can imagine. Remember about the corporate governance. Corporate governance, when you see the term corporate governance, always remember that it is related to the way board of directors run the organization or a company. So if the board of directors are effective, or the way they do works are effective, then they will get this, or they will do this. So in this context, the corporate governance is seen as effective if they maintain high ethical standard. For this textbook, effective corporate governance means is related to board of directors that maintain high ethical standard. So if a board of directors maintain high ethical standard, they are called effective corporate governance, and then the results of that is these five factors. Okay. Corporate governance as antidote to corruption. Effective corporate governance makes it hard for companies to provide bribes or other company resources to government officials in exchange for service. Why ethics and corporate governance is important? Protect financial position, set strategic plans and measure performance, delegating who is responsible for what, ensure company complies with the law, protect the interests of all shareholders. Why might E and G be important to you? Ethics and governance. Why might ethics and governance be important to you? So this is like additional explanation to the previous slide. So see here. So the basic idea is, if a company maintain or has effective corporate governance, then the company can avoid this kind of problem. Particularly the corruption problem. Examples of ethical behavior and poor governance. Okay, there are many examples of poor governance. I think the most the biggest case of unethical behavior that is always mentioned is the Enron case. Okay, the Enron case is something like this. The board of directors, they do not maintain high ethical standard. They manipulate accounting numbers so that people outside the companies, and also the company's employees, see the company is very profitable. And until one time they cannot hide anymore the problem of the company, then suddenly the company collapsed. $billions of shareholders' money was gone in like one day or something. When the company collapsed, the share price will decrease. So the shareholders, they were losing money that they have invested in the company. So the board of directors does not maintain high ethical standard. The auditor also does not maintain high ethical standard. The name of the audit firm is Arthur Anderson. If you read about this case, you will see that the directors were sent to jail, and the audit firm Arthur Anderson has been ordered to stop operation. No more Arthur Anderson. I think they closed their firm, and they merged with another firm, I think. But they do not. There is no Arthur Anderson anymore. That is very a big case, and also very always mentioned in academic writings. Okay, an example of a business that does not maintain high ethical standard. The corporate governance, the directors does not maintain ethical standard. You can read about that. In Malaysia, we have several cases. I can't remember that several years ago, there's a big company, there's a listed company, not a big company, a listed company. The directors do manipulate the accounting numbers. The directors publish financial statement that shows the business is profitable, but it is actually not. And then, but in Malaysian case, the audit firm does not agree with the directors. So that is the difference. But in the Enron case, both the directors and the audit firm are doing the bad things. Okay, this is like the last subtopic in topic 1, ethics from Islamic perspective. Islamic ethics, moral absolutes. The Islamic view of ethics affirms ethical absolutes, whereas the Bible grounds morality in God's essential character. The Quran teaches that God cannot ultimately be known. Okay, that is, I'm not sure about that. Quran teaches that God cannot ultimately be known. As far as I know, according to Al-Quran, the God can be known. We can know about God, but we cannot see God. We cannot know the how God looks like. But according to Al-Quran, we know the names of gods, the characteristic of gods. That's what the Al-Quran said, but I'm not sure about this. Why it is said like this in this note. Okay, the second point here. Certain actions are good, not because they derive from God's character, but because God chooses to call them good. Okay, maybe it's like, maybe Islam says God, certain actions are good because God chooses to call them good. To say or to mention that it is good or they are good. And then God could have decreed a different set of moral principles. Therefore, Muslims know moral goodness by God decree. Yeah, that's maybe correct. According to Islam or Muslim, moral goodness is such is so if God says so. From Muslim perspective, if God says this is good thing, then we say good, it is good. If God says this is not good, then we say it is not good. Okay, point number 4. Islam and Christianity agree to some of the same moral standards, although significant differences exist. So this is correct. Islam and Christianity are not same. So that's why. Okay, next here. Ethics from Islamic perspective. Okay, this is a person, Hamudah Abdalati, summarizes Islamic morality as follows. The concept of morality in Islam centers around certain basic beliefs and principles. For example, 1. God is the creator and source of all goodness, truth, and beauty. Okay, that is, I think, correct. Second, man is a responsible, dignified, and honorable agent of his creator. I'm not sure about that. As far as I know, man is not an agent, but is a servant. In Islam, man is a servant. We do whatever the creator told us to do. That agent, I'm not sure about agent. Number 3, God has put everything in the heaven and earth, in the service of mankind. That is, as far as I know, is correct. According in Islam, God created heavens and earth for us, for people. We can use whatever in the earth, but we have to use it properly and responsibly. We cannot do bad things to animals, to trees, etc. But we can use them if we provided that we have to use it properly and responsibly. Okay, number 4, by His mercy and wisdom, God does not expect the impossible from man or hold him accountable for anything beyond his power, nor does God forbid man to enjoy the good things in life. So I think I agree with Hamudah in point 4. In Islam, God reward Muslims based on effort. If a Muslim do good things, he will get the rewards from God. He or she is rewarded based on his or her effort. Okay. Number 5, moderation, practicality, and balance are the guarantees of high integrity and sound morality. I think so. Number 6, all things are permissible in principle except what is singled out as obligatory, which must be observed, and what is singled out as forbidden, which must be avoided. Yep, number 6. As far as I know, it is correct. Number 7, man's ultimate responsibility is to God, and the highest goal is the pleasure of his creator. Here, number 7. Okay, let's see what else. Ethics from Islamic perspective. I think this is the last slide. When viewing Islamic ethics, Muslims see Prophet Muhammad as the exemplary human being, the one all people should seek to imitate, along with more general virtues, the 5 pillars of practice. But this is I think the last conclusion, the final conclusion is like this. The final conclusion is in the first sentence. When viewing Islamic ethics, Muslims see Prophet Muhammad as the exemplary human being. Prophet Muhammad is the one that we Muslim see as the best example. If we want to do to learn about ethics, we as a Muslim
we look at how Prophet Muhammad do it, how Prophet Muhammad maintain high ethical standards. In the war, for example, Prophet Muhammad does not allow people, Muslim, to attack women and children, and also does not allow to do bad things to trees and animals. So that is the thing that we learn from Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad also teach Muslim how to maintain high ethical standards when Muslim do business deals, how to sell, cannot lies with the weight of the things that we Muslim sell, cannot has to be transparent about the product that we sell. According to a story that I have heard, Prophet Muhammad was a good businessman before he has this responsibility as a prophet. Before he is 40 years old, he was a good businessman, and one of the things that he did was, when he sells something, he always transparent. This product is, what are the good things about this product, and what are the the bad things or the weak things about this product. And Prophet Muhammad had been seen as an honest person by people during his time. They like to do business with Prophet Muhammad because he's transparent. He was transparent when doing business. That is correct. The last conclusion is, I agree with this conclusion. The final word for Muslim, if they want to maintain high ethical standard, they, according to Islam, they have to follow the Prophet Muhammad ways. Thank you very much. This is the end of topic 1. Like I said last week, do not forget to write your name and matric number in the comment section of this video. I will take that as your lecture attendance.